DJI Osmo Mobile 2. It's a bit of a mouthful of a name, but it is a smartphone gimbal. I've been using it with the iPhone 10. This is what I love about it and what I don't love about it that much. So I want to start off talking about the price. This is $130 and it's producing really cinematic quality results. That to me is like a game changer. A lot of the other gimbals I've used have been pretty expensive, including the first generation of the DJI Osmo. So I really like the price point on this one. But that being said, it has been built to a price point because it doesn't feel necessarily as refined as the previous version. It's a little bit more plasticky, but overall it's very functional. Like all of the buttons and controls are in a really good place. They're all positioned really nicely. And inside the handle here, this battery is absolutely massive. Like, I don't think I've needed to charge this more than about 3 or 4 times in the past 2 months, I'd say, because it just lasts and lasts, which is great. So I think they say it's about 15 hours, and I've definitely found that to be true. I also love how there is a USB-A on the back here, and you can actually use that to charge like any other device that you have. That being said, I wish that this port on the side where you actually charge the entire device was USB-C. It's actually just micro USB. And so just because everyone's moving towards USB-C, and I just feel like I have more of those cables around, I just wish it was USB-C, but of course it was built to a price point. Also at the bottom, yay, look at this tripod mount. I can actually put it on a tripod if I want to do any kind of selfies or anything like that. That is such a big deal for me. I want to talk about the stabilization now, because obviously that's the big feature and that's the thing that you probably want to know about. So this has produced some really amazing results for me. Like, I haven't been as impressed with the stabilizer as I have been with this particular one before, just because it just seems to kind of get it right all the time, which I love. So I've been using it between the DJI Go app, which is actually the one that you're supposed to use it with, and also the actual iPhone camera app as well, just the default camera app. Now, the reason why I've been using it with the camera app, the default one, rather than the DJI app is just because some of the time I want to record in 4K, 60 frames a second, and the DJI Go app cannot do that right now. I bet you, like, as soon as I make this video, there will be an update to the app and they'll be like, oh, hey, 4K, 60 frames a second, great, amazing. But please do that like sooner rather than later. That would be lovely. So that's why I generally end up using the iPhone camera app as well. And one of the downsides, I know a lot of people have been talking about the fact that obviously if you're using with an iPhone or a camera or a phone camera that has internal optical image stabilization, also the stabilization from the gimbal, they can kind of like counteract each other and produce kind of like that jelly-like effect. I haven't encountered that as much as some other people, but it is still present. I actually found that if I use the default camera app rather than the DJI app, it was a little bit better overall. So that's also another reason why I use the default camera app too. Okay, so it sounds like I really like it, huh? I really do, but there are some big downsides. Some of them are particular to my situation, but I still want to run them through with you just because I think you might have the same issues that I do with this thing. Big problem number one for me is that I want to record good quality audio with an external mic rather than the internal mic, and I don't know if you can see this configuration, but that is where the lightning port is, that is where the end bracket is. I cannot plug in an external mic there, right? Like, it's just not possible. But here's a little hack. I actually worked out kind of how to do it, but it's a little bit janky. It only works about maybe 80% of the time, which is actually good enough for me, but I'm gonna show you, just in case you run into the same problem and you kind of wanna do something with an external mic. So here we go. I'm gonna take it off the mount. So this only is gonna work if you're using the selfie camera. It's not gonna work if you're gonna use the back camera, which is really unfortunate. So I'm going to put the phone in backwards. So we have the lightning port visible up here. I found this microphone. This is, I believe, a Shure microphone with a lightning adapter. Plug it in like so. Turn it on, hope for the best, hope that it balances correctly. That's going to be a difficulty if you have a mic that's particularly heavy. It's just not going to want to do it. Okay, so as you can see, it's balancing okay. And so I've been using this configuration if I want to record something like me talking to camera. So that works. The problem is the microphone doesn't really communicate very well with the DJI app, and sometimes it doesn't work so well either in the default camera app. That's a microphone problem though, because I've been reading a bunch of things about it. Apparently it just needs an update from Apple to kind of get that compatibility 100%, because sometimes the audio drops out. But for what I needed it for, I did a bunch of testing before I recorded each clip and it worked okay. But still, like, please, DJI, for the next version, please, 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 let me have some way of plugging in an external microphone, some sort of accessory shoe, just like make it easy for me, because this is a weird kind of workaround. It feels bizarre. I know it feels like it's not balanced correctly as well. So please, please, please fix it. I really want you guys to fix it because I want to use it, like be able to use that back camera as well. But it's not all bad with the DJI app, thankfully. There are a couple of really fun features that I loved using, including the motion time-lapse and hyperlapse mode. So I did a walk up and down the beach watching the sunset. It created this really cool cinematic clip. I know if I just did it using another app without the stabilizer, it was going to look really shaky. It wouldn't have been very smooth or consistent. So I really appreciated that function in the app. That was a lot of fun. And just overall, it makes me really just want to shoot video, which is a great thing. The fact that it is so cheap means that I don't really mind if I do maybe, accidentally drop it, because I'm very clumsy. I haven't, trust me, I haven't dropped it. But I'm just saying, if I did, it probably wouldn't be that huge of a deal. Okay, so in the app, the one other thing that I wanted to mention that I wish would be changed would be the ability to use that 2x optical zoom on the iPhone 10 or any other phone that has two cameras with optical zoom. Because at the moment you can obviously use the digital zoom. There is that zoom rocker there that moves in and out. But unfortunately, it's only using digital zoom. And if I have the optical zoom, I'm gonna wanna use that. There's no reason to use digital zoom really. It doesn't look very good. I just wanna be able to use that extra bit of optical length if I can. So that's why, again, I shoot with the default camera app. So those are my thoughts on the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. Let me know what you think. If you have also been using it for about the same amount of time, I would love to hear your comments too. Maybe you have a fix for that external microphone issue. There's another way to do it. It's not going to be external audio, guys, because I'm not going to run external audio and sync it with this. I'm sorry, I'm just not. But if you have a solution, I'd love to hear it. Just let me know your thoughts in general about this or stabilizers. Find me in the comments, or you can find me on Twitter as well.